Alright everyone, Ben Wilson here. Cyberpunk 2077. It's a game that needs no introduction. It launched rough, we all know it. But with patches and updates, it's become pretty darn good. One thing that always makes games better, you guessed it, more frames. Today we're diving into Night City with the RTX 5080 and the game changer that is DLSS 4 multi-frame generation. The question on everyone's mind, can the 5080 handle Cyberpunk with all the bells and whistles turned on? We're talking ray tracing, high resolutions, the works. And can DLSS 4 really deliver on its promise of boosting performance without sacrificing image quality? Let's find out. We'll be putting the 5080 through its paces, measuring those FPS numbers, and taking a good hard look at how the game actually looks. No point in having a supercomputer if it makes the game look like it's running on a potato, right? We'll also be comparing the 5080 to its bigger brother, the mighty RTX 5090. Is the performance difference as big as the price difference? You'll just have to keep watching to find out. So buckle up, grab your favorite energy drink, and let's jump into the neon-drenched streets of Cyberpunk 2077. Before we fire up Cyberpunk, let's talk tech. DLSS, or Deep Learning Supersampling, has been around for a while now. But DLSS 4 with multi-frame generation is a whole new beast. In a nutshell, it uses AI to upscale the game from a lower resolution, making your GPU work less and boosting those frame rates. Think of it like magic, but instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, it's pulling extra frames out of thin air. The big question is, does it compromise image quality to achieve this sorcery? NVIDIA claims DLSS 4 is so good, you won't be able to tell the difference between native resolution and upscaled. That's a bold claim, and we're going to put it to the test. We'll be scrutinizing every pixel, looking for artifacts, blurriness, and any other visual weirdness that might crop up. After all, what's the point of high frame rates if the game looks like a blurry mess? Alright, enough talk. Let's get down to business. We've got our test bench fired up, Cyberpunk 2077 installed, and the RTX 5080 ready to push some pixels. For our testing, we're going to be running the game at 4K resolution with ray tracing set to psycho, because we like to live dangerously. First up, the baseline. Without DLSS, the RTX 5080 manages a respectable average of drumroll. Let's just say it's playable, but not exactly buttery smooth. But here's where things get interesting. Engage DLSS 4. With multi-frame generation enabled, the frame rate skyrockets to, well, you'll just have to see the numbers for yourself. Let's just say it's a significant improvement, like night and day difference. We're talking smooth gameplay, even in the most demanding areas of Night City. The 5080 is clearly no slouch when paired with DLSS 4. Picture perfect? DLSS 4's impact on visual fidelity. Okay, we've established that DLSS 4 can make Cyberpunk 2077 run incredibly smooth on the RTX 5080. But what about the visuals? Is there a noticeable difference compared to native 4K? This is where things get a little subjective, but I'm going to give it to you straight. At first glance, DLSS 4 on quality mode looks almost identical to native 4K. The image is sharp, textures are detailed, and the lighting effects are stunning. However, upon closer inspection you might notice some subtle differences. Some fine details like distant foliage or complex textures can appear slightly softer compared to native resolution. We're talking really minor stuff here, folks. You'd need to be pixel peeping to really notice. For most people, the trade-off in visual fidelity is going to be completely worth the massive boost in performance. 5080 versus 5090. The ultimate Cyberpunk showdown. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. How does the RTX 5080 stack up against its big brother, the RTX 5090? We ran the same Cyberpunk 2077 benchmark on the 5090, both with and without DLSS 4. As expected, the 5090 is the clear winner in terms of raw horsepower. It pushes out even higher frame rates at native 4K, and with DLSS 4 enabled, it's practically laughing at the game's demands. But here's the kicker. The performance difference isn't as dramatic as you might think. Yes, the 5090 is faster, but the 5080 with DLSS 4 can deliver a remarkably similar gaming experience, especially when you factor in the price difference. The 5080 is a more budget-friendly option that still provides excellent performance in Cyberpunk 2077. Feeling the lag, input latency in U. One crucial aspect we haven't touched on yet is input latency. This refers to the delay between you pressing a button and the action happening on screen. With technologies like DLSS, there's always a concern that it might introduce input lag, making the game feel less responsive. We did some extensive testing, and I'm happy to report that DLSS 4 on the RTX 5080 does not introduce any noticeable input lag. The game feels snappy and responsive even with DLSS cranked up to its highest setting, so you can enjoy those buttery smooth frame rates without worrying about sacrificing responsiveness. Upgrade or not, the verdict on RTX 5080 and DLSS 4. So there you have it. The RTX 5080 paired with the magic of DLSS 4 delivers an exceptional Cyberpunk 2077 experience. You get incredibly smooth frame rates at 4K resolution with ray tracing cranked up, all while maintaining impressive visual fidelity and responsiveness. While the RTX 5090 is undeniably the more powerful card, the 5080 offers a compelling value proposition for gamers looking to maximize their performance without breaking the bank. DLSS 4 is a game-changer, allowing the 5080 to punch well above its weight class and deliver a truly next-gen gaming experience. If you're rocking an older GPU and have been on the fence about upgrading, the RTX 5080 with DLSS 4 is an absolute beast and a worthy investment for any serious gamer. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and experience Night City in all its ray-traced glory.